evening and welcome to the Division Two Championship between the number 1 seed 8-2 Dirty Birds and the number 2 seed, the 7-3 EZW. He's Jerome Hobbiton. I'm Brent Bakken. And this could be the game of championship weekend, Jerome. I know we were talking about this a little earlier. Two of the top teams, the only division I believe in flag plus football this entire weekend, whereas Team 1 against Team 2. Fantastic matchup, right? EZW comes into this game on a 9-game winning streak. Their last loss was all the way back in week 3. That's January 18th, to be exact. Yeah, it's been a while. Dirty Birds, they grabbed first place after week 1, and they did not give that up the rest of the way. So again, the two top teams in this division. What kind of game are you expecting here tonight?
It's the classic unstoppable force versus immovable object. Obviously, the EZW offense firing on all cylinders all season. Jeremy White getting that QB of the year, posting incredible stats. And the Dirty Birds defense having the lowest points allowed throughout the season, making it very tough for opposing offenses to score. Yep. And they never met before. They haven't played so far this season. Division 2, not a huge division. Most teams play each other. These two teams haven't played each other. Seed 1, Seed 2 facing off here.
Yeah, like you said, again, top offense in the league, 43 points a game for ECW, top defense in the league for the Dirty Birds. They're giving up an average of 22 points a game. In a league that's designed to score points, like flag football is, and especially flag plus football, you have the top offense, you have the top defense. Who do you think has the advantage here tonight?
Obviously, we have to consider the injuries for Dirty Birds. Notably, Jamal Noel, the snapper, troubles with his ankle against Jeremy White, who's a very mobile quarterback. Jamal Noel, one of the fastest players in FPF, not going to be rushing here perhaps. And James Owayan, top receiver this season, great defensive player, not 100% either.
Yeah, so Owayan makes his return to the lineup. He hasn't played since March 10th, right? That was all the way back in week 10. That was his last game. As you talked about, he has a lower body injury. Jamal Noel, I had a chance to talk to him just a few minutes ago. He says his knee is about 50% right now. He's going to try and give it a go, and that's not just important for snapping. It's also important as he is the rusher. The team's regular rusher, Naz Dillon, due to a health scare, has been out of the lineup for several weeks. I talked to him. He's obviously not going to be playing today. We wish him the best, of course, in his long road to recovery. He's in attendance, though. He has been throughout the playoffs to cheer on his team. But Noel has been a great replacement as a rusher. But again, with his knee now, will he rush? How long will he rush? Right now, he's not even on the field, so that answers the question of will he rush. So right now, it appears, as you were telling me before we went to air, it's going to be all-star Anthony Breezebois, number 21. Usually a lockdown corner. He's going to be the rusher here tonight for Dirty Birds. And here we go. Jeremy White of ECW gets a snap. He's going deep. First play of the game. James Owayan on the sideline.
Out of bounds.
He missed the catch, but yeah, he's out of bounds. You're right.
That is not the guy you want to be testing, and especially not underthrowing those passes. Throw away from James Tyrell in one-on-one situations, please. Very scary throw to make on first down. We can notice the absence of Nathan Desjardins on the EZW side, who usually lines up in that left wide position.
And pass intended for number 9, Etienne Laurent Gervais. Here's a pass to J.C. Ferland. Good catch by him. He picks up a first down and then some, tackled by James Owayan.
Yeah, Mr. Ferland had one of the most underrated seasons, statistically speaking, with 662 yards and 15 touchdowns, as well as 14 sacks, so having a huge impact at that rusher position. The ultimate utility player for EZW here.
First down now. Just before midfield snap, pass it for Furlong, the end zone, makes the catch, touchdown, EZW. Furlong got past Matt Bond.
What a catch. What a ball by Jeremy White, splitting the corner and the halfback. Owayan dropping deep. Perhaps Owayan not 100%, not able to get to that, Matt Bond. This was just an incredible pass. And an incredible catch by the great receiver, J.C. Ferland here. Able to keep the concentration, get the ball, the possession, and the 2 feet in. Even though you only need one, great play here.
So early 6-0 lead right here for ECW. Going for 2 to make it an 8-0 lead. Can they get it? Let's find out. White gets a snap. He looks to his left. He goes there, pass to the end zone. Caught. Oh, and dropped at the last second.
Yeah, Tyrell seems to have gotten his hand in there. Alexandre Barros, obviously great chemistry with Jeremy White. The ball, the rotation stop, who knows. Anyways, great play by Tyrell there, getting his hand there, just bothering Barros enough for him to not be able to complete the catch. And a huge stop on this first convert here for Dirty Birds.
So here comes Quade Johnson now leading his offense onto the field.
Yeah, this will be a game about tempo, so Quade's offense is a bit slower than White's.
Quade goes to the outside. Nice catcher on the sideline by Jamal Noel. So Noel having to leap up to get that grab. Looks like his knees are okay so far.
Yeah, great catch, great concentration. Nico Bleck closing down there. That's what Quade has to do. He has to really throw on that front foot, be very decisive with his passes, and not baby his passes, which he has a tendency to do. He didn't do it there. It's a great completion. Gets about 8 yards for second down.
Johnson gets the snap now. Second and about 2 over the middle to Anthony Brisebois. Brisebois with the grab. He's tackled by Samuel Emilio Pelcha, but not before picking up the first down.
Yeah, interesting to see Brisebois snapping here. Kind of a position we're not expecting him to play. Usually one of the best receivers, either at the slot or at the wide, but snapper, I mean, he can break some tackles.
And it's odd, especially because usually it's Quade Johnson's father, Lonnie, who's the snapper. So I saw them warming up during the last game we were doing. Lonnie was taking all the snaps. Maybe Lonnie might be on a snap count. I'm not sure. And good catch there by Noel. He was down on his knees, still able to make the grab.
Yeah, JC Ferland close to get that sack. Nice low-key hip move by Quade Johnson here. Maybe a little bit of flag guard there, but the refs won't call those on the QBs most of the time. Great job by Noel getting down with the catch.
So it's second and short right here.
Yeah, maybe expect a shot.
Second, about less than a yard, about second and inches.
Left side matchup, Fritz Senatus versus James Tyra.
Johnson gets the pass, looks over the middle of the field. Nobody home. He had Noel. I think Noel, he was tapping his chest like it was his fault. Looks like he stopped his route. Johnson was expecting Noel to do more of an in, and Noel ended up just settling down for a hook.
Yeah, no harm, no foul there. Quade being smart there and just throwing it away on the second down and first. You do not want to be throwing picks in these situations. You have 3 downs to get 1 yard. You're good.
So again, short yardage here for the Dirty Bird. Johnson gets the snap, goes to his left. Tyrell picks up the first down for getting tackled. Pick up a 6 there, so he extends the change and continues this drive for the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, we can see the difference in tempo between these two offenses. You see Quade Johnson now really looking downfield, really being simple with his read, get those triple slants, get those hooks. Not favorable for EZW, who've been a team with a very high tempo, scores a lot of points, scores quickly. So let's see which team is able to impose their tempo here.
First down now. Johnson gets the snap. He looks to the left. He's going over the middle. He has Brisebois open. Brisebois bobbled. Catch. Touchdown. 6'6" Anthony Brisebois with the TD.
A little scary there. Brisebois usually a player very, very talented, very great hands. Nico Blais a bit slow on that recovery there, but a great adjustment. Quade placed the ball inside as Brisebois is cutting outside. Brisebois makes a great adjustment with the comebacker to the inside to get the touchdown.
So Dirty Birds now going for the 1-point conversion, looking to take a 7-6 lead here. Johnson gets the snap. He looks to his left. He goes there, back at the end zone. Oh, right to the hands. Our Brisebois, rare drop by him. He was open. Pass might have been a little too high, but as the saying goes, as a receiver, you should know, right? If you get your hands on the ball.
Or blame your quarterback.
Yeah, fair enough. So 6-6 now. We are tied. Both teams scoring on their first offensive drive of the game.
Yeah, that was a bit high. I don't think he would have been able to get his feet in if he caught the ball. Also interesting that they're going for 1. EZW going for 2.
White gets a snap. He goes deep. Nice catch for Alon. Can he get into the end zone?
Tackle just short.
Yeah, good tackle there by Johnson coming over from the safety position. Tackle Ferland at about the 2-yard line.
Yet again, Ferland being a huge impact player in this one. Again, to that corner. This wasn't the best pass by Jeremy White. A bit wobbly. James Owayan a bit late here. Is he being affected by we see that wrapped around his left knee. Maybe he's not 100%. Usually that's plays he comes down with the picks.
Yeah, you have to imagine they're going to be throwing all day long at O'Hay, and White gets a snap. He goes to the end zone. Oh, pass off the hands of the intended receiver, and that was number 1 and Alex Barros. So a little surprising there. We see again with with O'Hayan injured, you might want to just keep him in the offense. I wouldn't mind maybe even seeing Lonnie Johnson. I mean, Lonnie Johnson plays a lot in the 35-plus league as well. Ton of experience. He's a smart defender, though. Is he as fast as some of these receivers for ECW? Maybe not, but he knows where to be on defense. To see what happens if maybe he gets in. Oh, Breezeball misses the sack. White's going, still going. Pass, hits the ground. Incomplete pass there forced by Anthony Breezeball. His
I
motor
think they
never
called
stops.
a sack here.
Oh, no, Hayden, I can see he is down.
Yeah, this is not good.
Yeah, and again, he came in, right away. He's taking the wrap actually off his left knee.
Yeah, I always hate to see this.
So he appears to be in not a ton of pain. There's more discomfort, if anything.
Nah, he looks in pain.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I can see now the grimace on his face. Yeah, he gets helped by his teammates as well as Sarah Parker. And yeah, he's going to be helped to the sideline. So that is not a good sign there for James O'Hayan. Again, coming into this game, already having that left knee injury. You have to tip your hat to him, though, that he tried. Listen, he wanted to gut it out for his teammates and try to help them win a championship.
Yeah, warrior, but gotta stay healthy, man.
Yeah, hopefully that injury is, it's not as bad as it looks right now. So that's going to affect, obviously, the Dirty Birds on both sides of the ball. So now Jamal Noel, again, we talked about knee injury of his own, right? Ankle injury, rather. He's coming in now. He's going to rush. So now Anthony Breezeball's going to go back to his regular defensive back position.
Yeah, which is basically the ideal situation for Dirty Birds here. They want Noel rushing. The question is, if his ankle is not 100%, is he able to follow Jeremy White, who's very shifty from left to right?
And I got to ask you, obviously, so White, again, he's fast, as is Noel. Noel's faster. Let's not have any illusions about that. But how much is the height advantage that White has over Noel? Do you think that plays a factor?
Not really, because Noel guys are so fast. Usually the QBs are kind of not expecting him to be there already, and you realize that when you don't have that split second of extra time is harder.
Yes, you see Noel already impacted past the inside off the hands of Furlong. He was battling with Breezeball, and you saw right there, Noel got in, but he was hesitant. He didn't come in full speed. He actually kind of broke down and stopped and just tried to get his arms up and get a pass deflection.
Yeah, that's also because he respects Jeremy White's legs.
Yep.
Obviously, but you see the impact already of Anthony Breezeball on that as a DB rather than as a rusher.
So big fourth down now for ECW. Pass to the end zone. Batted away. James Tyrell with the big play, knocking away that pass intended for Laurence Gervais. So good defensive stand. A huge one, as a matter of fact, for the Dirty Birds. They lose O'Hayan, but they get the ball back here on offense with this game tied at 6.
And this was the matchup we were talking about, the offense versus the defense. Strike one for EZW.
So when we look back at the end of the game, Jerome, this might have been maybe a huge momentum turner in this contest. So now we see Breezeball back at the wide receiver spot. Lonnie Johnson now, the veteran, coming in to snap to his son, Quaid. Tyrell pass on the sideline. Brace one tackle, but he's taken down by Fritz Senatus.
Yeah, simple all hooks here, get some yards. Expecting the EZW defense to adjust a little bit here, get a bit more aggressive, especially on Tyrell. They respect the deep ball, and Quaid has to realize that Fritz Senatus is going to go deep most plays because he fears that Tyrell go ball, and that will open the comeback in the hook. So the halfback, Samuel Emilio Pesha, has to cheat to that Tyrell comeback, which leaves Matt Bond open on the slot.
First down now, just before midfield. Quaid gets the ball, passes over the middle of the Breezeball. Nice in route there by Breezeball. He's tackled though right away by Laurent Gervais. Pickup of about, let's call it
6, 7?
6, maybe 7. Yeah, that's like 7 right there by Breezeball.
Yeah, solid.
And I was looking the other day, so obviously doing prep for this game. Anthony Breezeball, guy I've gotten to know a little bit here from my time playing and working in FBF. Great guy, stand-up guy. Everyone has always positive things to say about him. 5-time All-Star. I was surprised he's never won a championship.
He hasn't?
No, he hasn't. I'm not going to lie. I had assumed he did when I was finishing my prep for the game, and I was looking and say, no, he doesn't have a championship. Incomplete pass there from Johnson, intended for Noel. Good rush there by Fairlawn.
That's kind of insane, but yeah. Setting up third down here. Quaid not liking what he sees. Good job by Nico Blake covering both the slam by Noel and the out by Brisebois over the top. That's a great defensive player from a very smart player who usually plays quarterback.
So Johnson awaiting the snap now, both 3 yards away from getting a first down. Pass to the sideline to Terrell. He picks it up. Can he get into the end zone? He does. Touchdown. Dirty Birds, 12-6 lead with just about 9 minutes remaining here in the first half.
And we can see it right there again. Johnson going back to that Tyrell comeback. Maybe a good idea to switch it up a little bit from the ECW defense. I would keep Fritz Senatus in a lock, but a short lock with Laurent Gervais from the safety going over the top for that Tyrell jump ball. Laurent Gervais, one of the elite defenders in Division 2. He can get there. He's surprisingly fast, surprisingly athletic. Doesn't look like much, but he's a great defensive player.
2-point conversion attempt right here by the Dirty Birds. Bond back as a double quarterback pass intended for Brisebois, just over his head. So a 12-6 lead here for the Dirty Birds over EZW here in Brassard. Brent Bach and Jerome Hovington with you in this Division II championship game.
Yeah, EZW started with the ball. They have to score here. Get those converts. 2 misses on the Dirty Birds side, 0 for 1 for EZW.
White gets a snap now to start this next drive for his team. He's going to the sideline. Laurent Gervais with the catch. He's deflated right away by James Tyrell. Looking so far in this postseason for Laurent, he has been phenomenal. Even the regular season as well, he's been phenomenal for his team. 26 grabs, 349 yards, 10 touchdowns. Averages 13 yards a grab, does Laurent Gervais.
Yeah, really improved offensively. Not known as an offensive player, but has had an impact on that position.
White's going deep to Senatus. Markins Valcourt, the former McGill Redbird, in coverage there, going on the right sideline.
Yeah. I think Senatus saw an opening in the inside. He kind of rounded in his go, which is not really something you want to do, because for the quarterback, what you want to do is you want to throw it outside shoulder. And Senatus has that athleticism, speed advantage on Valcourt and needs to use it. So you got to go downfield. You got to get there as fast as possible and make the grab.
Pass over the middle of Fairlawn. He's tackled by Valcourt. So that's enough for the first down now. The ball officially in the Dirty Birds end of the field.
Yeah, you can see Jeremy White not as comfortable being as aggressive perhaps with that Dirty Birds very athletic defense.
White getting the ball. He faked the throw. He's going to run. No, he decides to throw it. The last second pass to the end zone. Caught by Barrows.
Late call. I think he was in.
And he looked like he was in. Now, if I'm ECW, I challenge this right here. Don't forget.
Definitely.
During the finals, we have the ability to challenge. There is instant replay here.
Look at the adjustment by Barrows finding that D spot.
So he got...
Oh, he's... does that left foot touch before the right one?
Yeah, I don't know if he was able to drag that left foot or if it touched before the right one touched the bounce. But ECW is going to stick with what the officials say. They're not even going to bother the challenge here. A little surprising.
It was first down, so...
White going to the left side again to Barrows. This time he gets a foot in. And
that one was out.
Yep.
First one was in, second one was out.
But again, I mean... That's okay because, I mean, it's 1 foot in bounds. And 1 foot has to be in. Only 1 foot, I should say.
Right, but your first foot has to be in bounds. I think his right foot touched.
Oh, yeah,
no. His left foot, he just toe tapped it.
Yeah, he dragged that left foot. Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Great play.
Okay, yeah, so it's called a completion. So it's going to be 3rd and about 1 right here for ECW. Can they convert? Let's find out. White faking to the right. He goes to the right again. Pass to the floor. Caught by Furlong, open by himself. He walks in easily for the touchdown, and we're all tied up 12 apiece.
Yeah, you can see Noel not being as comfortable. Great move by White, but he's buying time. But Noel is not aggressive towards the sack. He's really staying back, containing, which tells me he's not 100%.
So ECW now going for the 1-point conversion, looking to make it a 13-12 game.
Interesting. This early, I'd keep going for 2 if I was ECW.
White now waits to get the snap. He gets it. Looks right down the middle. Senatus was open, but the pass from White was a little bit behind him. We're all tied up at 12.
Yeah. I mean, it's neither the QB nor the receiver's fault. In that situation, Senatus has to sit his route because he has to realize that the halfback is sitting in that lane. And that's what Jeremy White sees. But at the end of the day, Senatus thinks he's open. He keeps running his route. It's fine.
Just looking at how both teams got here. Dirty Birds knocking off the Party Ballers 30-12 in the quarterfinals. And then they knocked off Fins Up 32-26 in the semis. ECW outlasted the Vultures 45-42 in the quarters. And they followed it up with a with a blowout 42-22 victory over the Silent Ticklers in the semis. See a pass right there to Matt Bond on the left sideline.
Not the simplest catch, a great grab. Quaid is placing his ball very well, away from the defenders, not giving them much. Similar a bit to Shador Sanders, not the greatest arm, but great accuracy, great decision making. Liking what I'm seeing from Quaid so far today.
Comes Johnson now with the ball. He has Noel open. Oh, and he just overthrew him. And you can see the body language right there from Johnson. He's mad at himself. Noel was open on that deep crossing route.
Yeah, actually, I'm happy he overthrew it. I think Laurent Gervais was cutting underneath, as we're going to see on the replay. Perhaps throwing it a bit too late, a bit too high, but great design. Also, perhaps could have hit it in the deep back end zone with Noel's speed and Laurent Gervais perhaps not being able to follow Noel in a straight line that far.
Johnson gets the ball, fastball over the middle of the Brisebois. Good tackle made right there by number 21. Pardon me, I believe that was Nick Blay. Looks like that was number 24 actually with the tackle.
Yeah, Nico Blay, yeah.
This matchup, ton of all-stars on both sides. Quarterback of the year, Jeremy White. Defensive player of the year, obviously Quaid Johnson.
Not two-way. Interesting.
Yeah, hey, you're right. Johnson gets the snap here. Pass over the middle. Oh, Lonnie with the drop there. Lonnie, I think he was thinking about where he was going to go with the ball once he caught it, but you got to make that catch first.
Yeah, and use your hands.
Family affair, obviously, with the Johnson. Again, Lonnie the dad, Quaid the son, James Tyrell, close friends, obviously, with Quaid, the former receivers at Concordia University. James is actually married to Quiana, sister of Quaid, and obviously the daughter of Lonnie. Oh, the sack right there by Furlong. Johnson tried to escape it, but he couldn't.
And that is usually, that's up third down and very long. That's a long, maybe like 8-9 yard sack. And Quaid's hip move worked, but Ferland was just very, very silky with the slight grab that was enough to get the huge sack. Yeah,
Furlong, you can see him right already down in his defensive position waiting for the next snap. His long reach is really what makes him effective. Besides the fact that he can stop on a dime and he's quick, he has that long reach that really helps you as a rusher.
100%.
So the ball now behind midfield after the sack by Furlong. Johnson gets it. Johnson going to the end zone. A breeze ball passes up in the air and is picked up by Senatus. Senatus now coming on the left-hand side, looking to get a couple of yards. He does. Finally tackled just before midfield by Matt Bond. Turnover by the Dirty Birds with 1:37, give or take, remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, Anthony Brisebois running kind of a fade corner post. And Etienne Laurent Gervais, we talked about it. He's great defensively. He followed that perfectly, stayed under the route, tipped it up for Senatus, who's able to pick it up and bring it back. And that's the stop that the EZW defense needed. And we have a very, very close, very well-fought battle so far.
Yeah, 12-12 game right now. Again, just a bit over 90 seconds, 97 seconds to be exact, remaining here in the first half. Let's see if ECW can get the lead past the Pelcha. Gets tackled by Markins Valcourt. Pickup of about 8, maybe 9 yards right there.
Yeah, Pelcha not being used much so far this season. Taking subbing in for JC Ferland, taking a break right now. He's a very good receiver, very shifty, good hands.
White looking to run. He gets sacked after he Brisebois back at the rushing position. Gets a huge sack right there on second down. So instead of being 3rd and 1, it's going to be now 3rd and about 7, maybe 8 for the ECW offense.
Yeah, it complicates it a little bit. Interesting to have Brisebois back in that rusher position. Obviously, Noel clearly not 100%. It's the right call to make for the Dirty Birds defense right now.
White now goes to the sideline. Oh, Tyrell almost stepped in front of that and picked it off. Pass intended for Laurent Gervais.
We have a defensive battle here right now. It's interesting. So yeah, it was not a fluke. Well, we knew it wasn't a fluke that this Dirty Birds defense was this good. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Jeremy White is not able to find as many answers as he has the rest of the season.
Pass over the middle, caught by Pelshaw. First down, ECW. Jerome, that was a clutch throw right there by Jeremy White.
Yeah, he didn't have much. He was patient throwing from that back foot. He throws with kind of an open stance as the rusher is sacking him. Samuel Emilio-Péchat, great adjustment to the ball, staying there in that soft zone, making a grab.
Fresh to the downs now, pass over to Blade. Blade tackled though immediately by Noel. So Noel now, so we see him playing defensive back. It's a rarity to see him at defensive back, but again, that ankle injury making it hard to rush. So I want to ask you, Jerome, obviously he's still staying on the field for defense. I'm going to finish my question after this play right here. White face to the right, goes to the left. He has a man over the middle. Caught. Touchdown. Laurence Gervais finds the end zone with about 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 18-12 lead now for EZW.
Oh, that was smooth by White. Just off balance. Great ball. And a huge touchdown with 12 seconds, well, 5 or 11 seconds on the clock right now. So not much time for the Dirty Birds offense to score.
White gets it now, going right down the middle. Knocked down by Noel. Good defensive play by him. Pass intended for Pelshaw.
Yeah, both these teams struggling on coverage so far. It's interesting. Usually they're pretty successful at it. Definitely going to be a difference maker in this one.
Yeah, you look at ECW, I mean, they have 4 2-point conversions and 1 1-point conversion so far in the postseason. For the Dirty Birds, they have 4 conversion attempts, 4 successful conversion attempts as well. 2 for 1 point and then 2 for 2 points. Yeah, you're right, though. You're 100% right. It is surprising to see both teams struggle against 2 veteran teams here in Dirty Birds and ECW. Johnson starts the next drive for his squad. Goes to the sideline. Oh, pass intended for Tyrell, just out of his reach, though.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to overthrow James Tyrell with how athletic and bouncy he is. But, yeah, I think Senetsis also made a great closing play. Just Tyrell didn't look particularly comfortable going after that ball. So, I mean, no harm, no foul. About 6.7 seconds, so probably the last play here of this half. I'm wondering also who could drop as a second QB, perhaps Matt Bond. The EZW defense having Samuel Emilio-Péchat as a second quarterback. Rusher, sorry.
Well, let's see what they do here. Johnson gets the ball. Goes over the middle behind. So it's intercepted. Blade with
tackle.
the INT. A good tackle there by Lonnie Johnson. And that'll do it. You're right. That was the final play of the half. So at the first half, after the first half of action here in Brassard, it is an 18-12 lead for the underdog EZW against the number 1 seed in the Dirty Birds. So obviously a big play there, big offensive drive at the end of the first half for EZW. We saw it resulted in a touchdown by Etienne Laurence Gervais with about 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. Jerome, I got to ask you, how much momentum now does EZW have after getting that late touchdown and then getting the stop as well?
Well, we see how massive it is to start with the ball, how it can be mostly negative when it comes to second half, because now if they have the ball, they can really set the tempo. But now Dirty Birds is going to have the opportunity to start the second half with the ball, slow down the tempo as they've done all season, as they've done in this game. And Jeremy White does not like being on the sidelines for too long.
Okay, so sticking with Dirty Dogs right here, right? Obviously, Dirty Birds. Injuries are a factor, right? We talked about Noel. He's playing. Tip of the hat to him. You got to credit him for his toughness. He's definitely limited. James O'Hayan didn't last more than about 10 minutes going into this contest. Who now has to step up for the Dirty Birds if they want to make a comeback and get the W here?
Anthony Brisebois, 100%. He's got to have an impact offensively and defensively. We have seen him catch a couple balls, like couple hooks, couple slants, but not really the deep plays that he usually makes. At the same time, I'm fine with it because Quaid doesn't need to force the ball. We saw him force the ball to him, and what happened? Senatsus got the pick, so it's fine. Defensively, though, I need to see more impact from him. I need to be more aggressive on the receivers. But yeah.
Okay, looking at ECW again, they got that late touchdown. They got the 6-point lead. They're up 18-12. What did you like out of them in the first half, and what do you hope that they can improve on in the second?
I like their defense. I thought they really did a really good job against Quaid, not giving the receivers that much space. So far, Quaid has done a good job of placing the ball well, but the ECW defense is very close. Their offense obviously always firing up on all cylinders, but I'm happy that their defense is also producing.
All right, so we're just seconds away now, starting the second half here. Yeah, Bray Young just toying with us a little bit. He sees we're ready to go. Keeps on wanting to ask, are we ready to go? We are ready to go here. We are ready to start the second half here in Broussard. Got a number 1 seed, Dirty Birds, down by 6 against the number 2 seed, EZW. Second half, here we go. Quay Johnson awaits a snap from his dad, Lonnie. Quay gets it, pass over the middle. Oh, the center is picked off! Nick Blay off the pass deflected by JC Furlan. Gets the INT. And ECW is going to set up shop deep in the Dirty Birds territory.
Yeah, and on the first play of the half, obviously, ECW, they're thinking they're going to go all hooks. JC Furlan getting his hand in there, which slows down the ball, which allows Nico Blais to cut underneath it. Second pick for Blais today. I told you, he's a very smart defender. And JC Furlan once again having another big play, big impact on this game so far.
White gets the ball. He goes to the back of the end zone. Oh, this off the hand, the right hand of Alex Barros, who was open. He had to step on his defender, but again, that pass just a touch too far for him to be able to pull in.
I'm totally fine with it. It's a ball that's thrown over Quay Johnson, Defensive Player of the Year, and James Tyrell, former CFLer. Give your receiver a chance to make the catch. He doesn't, you're okay with it, but still, great ball by Jeremy White there.
Yeah, James Tyrell, former member of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, winning 2 Grey Cup championships. Let's see if Jeremy White lets to test him again in this contest. Smartly checks it down there to Blais. Blais tackled by Quay Johnson. A pickup, want to say maybe 6, possibly 7 yards right there by Blais.
Yeah, which is exactly what you want to be doing on second down. You don't want to be going down 3rd and 10, 4th and 10. That's when you start getting into trouble. Again, smart offensive management by Jeremy White.
Yeah, it's pick up of about 6 yards there on that previous play. Pass over the middle of Blais once again. Blais, he gets tackled. Good tackle there by Quay Johnson. So that pickup is good for 3. So fourth and 1 right now, maybe even less than a yard right here for this ECW offense. If you're ECW, if you're Jeremy White, what are you calling right now in the huddle to make sure you get that first down?
You got to have at least 1 or even 2 man beaters. Try to set some screens, expect some man. But for the Dirty Birds defense, you know they're expecting man. You're showing man. Don't play man.
Switch off there. Yeah, Furlan with the catch, in for the touchdown. And Furlan talking to White, saying, just keep feeding me more, just do it again.
Such a great route by Furlan. Look how he shifts his hips to the right. Valcourt follows, he commits fully, and it's just a simple, I'm back on the other side, wide open, the defender is right behind me. A lot of players need to watch JC Furlan run his routes if you want to improve.
24-12 now, so 12-point lead for ECW. Going for the 1-point conversion to make it a 13-point game. Pass to the end zone. Oh, Valcourt had a chance to catch it. Furlan thought he was interfered with, thought he was held by Noel.
We'll see. Yeah, he was, but it's sure. Not enough to be called usually because it's very hard to see. A lot of people, they say, I have one guy in particular, I won't say his name, Marvin. He says he holds all the time, and like, why don't you hold, bro? Like, the refs don't call it anyway. So I'm like, okay, I don't hold.
Shout out to Marvin Steinberg. Marvin, if you, after this betrayal by Jerome, if you feel like leaving your team and coming to play on the commission, you're welcome anytime, my friend.
All right. I think we have a challenge here for the holding call. We see Tara coming up.
I believe you're right. Yeah, so we'll get the official word in a second here. But I think you're right, Jerome. Probably is going to be a challenge on the holding. So, either way, you can see the replay right here. About 16 and a half minutes remaining here in this contest. You saw the in and out there by Furlong. Again, he was definitely held the left arm. Pardon me, Noel comes out to grab the back of his jersey.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a fairly straightforward call. I think holding is one of the most straightforward calls. Usually, like, you can get away with it if it's slide, if you just touch. But as soon as you see the jersey being pulled back, which was the case in this instance, it's an easy call. Yeah.
Don't forget, we have one more game here to wrap up night 1 of championship weekend. It will be the 7-3 Chaos, the number 4 seed, taking on the number 8 seed in the Citadins. 6-4 record for them. For the women's Division 2 championship, or women's 2, if you will, championship. I'm going to have that game for you immediately after this one is all said and done. I'll be on the call along with FPF All-Star Ben McMahon.
Oh, Ben's coming up in the booth?
The commissioners. Well, yeah, Ben said
Awesome.
he's going to do a game. So I was talking to him earlier. He's a little nervous, but I said, listen, you got this. You know football. We'll be good to go.
Hey, everybody's nervous the first time. It's all right.
There you go. He's excited. It's fun.
It can only get better. That's the thing.
Unless Mo Khan is here. When Mo Khan's here, it gets a lot worse. But I mean, hey. Yeah, so right now, again, penalty is probably going to be called on the Dirty Birds defense. So it's a 24-12 game right here.
Yeah,
that won't change.
While Fritz Senatus is taking a nap on the field.
Yeah, he's just laid back, chilling. I mean, you can't blame him. Listen, you're up by 12 points right now. You're about to maybe extend that lead a little bit to 18. We'll see.
No, it wouldn't be 18. It was a convert.
Convert? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
My apologies.
But still, you have to replay convert. Yeah, they called it pass interference.
That's pass interference.
So it'll be 2 from the 1.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Sorry, I was saying 18. I meant to say 14. Yeah, because it was a 1-point conversion, which would have made it a 13-point game on that convert. Again, the penalty was called. So they should be going now from a 2-point play, usually from the 10-yard line, but because of the penalty now, it'll be from the 5-yard line.
It'll be from the 5. Okay, yeah.
So they're looking to make it, ECW is looking to make it a 14-point lead now. And let's see if they could do exactly that, or the Dirty Birds defense get a stop. White over the middle, the Furlong. Good tackle there. Oh,
illegal
by
contact.
Valcourt. Yeah, legal contact as well. Again, in tackle, that would have been a perfect play right there, but this is flag, so Valcourt called for the penalty.
Yeah, just
It'll be a replay of it down.
Yeah, great coverage by Valcourt. But yeah, just a bit too much contact after the play. You don't have to jump on the other player. Like, you could have just stayed upright and touched the guy on the floor. But then again, it's the finals. You play with intensity. Sometimes you're gonna do a little bit more contact than you want to or need to. But look, I can't blame the guy for playing hard.
I was gonna ask you. So how much of that is, you know what? I'm gonna do what I have to do here to make a stop. If I get the penalty called on me, I get the penalty called on me. It's better than just be like, all right, well, I got to give it up here and let the player score. Sometimes you got to go through a player, I guess, if they have the ball.
Yeah, it wasn't dangerous play necessarily. It was just like, okay, you're playing hard. And Markins always plays hard. He's a guy that'll bring that intensity, and he's trying to set the tone in this game with his team down. Get the flag. It's not the end of the world. It's just a convert.
Yeah, definitely. Aggression has never been a problem when it comes to football for Marcus. I've called a number of his games when he used to play at McGill. He played some halfback. He played a lot of corner. He can lay the hammer, I can tell you that, 100%.
I'm not surprised looking at him.
So it'll be a third attempt now for a conversion.
2 from the 1 now. Yeah.
Exactly 2 from the 1 now instead of at the 5.
Yeah, will Jay White go to that in and out again from GC Falon? It feels like they've done it 3 times in a row now.
White goes to his right, now to the left. Ooh, and right through the hands, or off the hands, I should say, rather, of Laurent Gervais. A rare drop by him.
Yeah, just a little too much zip from Jay White there. A bit overkill on that throw. We didn't need to throw it that hard, and I don't think Etienne was expecting such a hard pass. Incredible how much velocity he gets on that pass from that platform.
Would you have caught that?
Of course.
There you go. Makes sense.
Manu would have dropped it.
Shout out to Manu. All right. New series now for the Dirty Birds. Oh, and another drop there by Lonnie Johnson. And you can just see the frustration, not just on his face, but with his body language right now.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Get back in the game.
It's only a 2-score game, right? I mean, it's not a blowout or anything,
And
right?
with the onside now, I mean, any score below 14 is comebackable with less.
Johnson gets the pass, goes to Tyrone on the left side. Oh, and off his hands and an interception. Shaw kind of in the right place at the right time right there.
Yeah, very lucky, but man, you gotta catch with your hands. Like, even if the ball is low, even if it's in your chest, get those hands out, secure the ball. Even if it's below, you can't, because it'll just bounce off your chest into your hand and you won't be able to control it.
So, getting the ball back on your opponent's side of the field is ECW pass to center to us, tackled by Noel.
Yeah, simple play there.
Yeah, pick up about maybe 3 yards on the play.
Yeah.
3, maybe 4 at the most.
That's fine. You kind of cut down the field again, make the second down easier. Dirty Birds are going to need to be a bit more hyped, I think.
We need some of that. Nice play there by Matt Bond. Deflected the ball, almost picked off by Quade Johnson.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you need from the Dirty Birds defense, getting underneath those routes. Usually Dirty Birds, they're very aggressive underneath without giving up too much of the deep. So for Jeremy White, he's going to be needing to hit that intermediate zone, but the Dirty Birds defenders are so athletic, it's hard to throw over their heads, which makes it very hard for opposing quarterbacks.
White gets the ball. Fastball off the turf right in front of Senatus, who was down on his knees trying to make the catch, but he couldn't. So 4th down now. So after the Dirty Birds made some mistakes, they have a chance now to make a defensive stand here.
And 4th down now. It's not 4th and goal, but it's very hard to get that ball, between the goal line and the 2-yard line. But also, it's hard for the Dirty Birds defense because they cannot be too far back because Jeremy White can hit it before and they can get a 1st down. So it's a tricky situation for both the offense and the defense.
It's about 4th and a long 4. Let's call it 4th and 5 right here. Pass over the middle. Valcourt with the bat down. Pass intended for Furlong.
And no penalty there.
Yeah, he thought there should have been a penalty. Furlong definitely looked like he thought there should have been a penalty, but that's just clean football right there. Good aggressive play by Markins.
Yeah, it's clean. He's got the position. Ooh. Yep. He does not. The question is there contact in the back of Ferland? Anyways, they're not going to challenge her, but great defensive play by Valco at the end of the day. And this gives Dirty Birds some life.
There you go. So that's exactly it. So after the turnover of their own, the Dirty Birds are able to force the turnover on defense. They get the ball back. Let's see what they can do with it now. Pass a breeze ball on a drag route.
Great tackle. Samuel Emilio Pelchat didn't have that much of an impact this season. I said this earlier, but having a big one in this one today.
So drag row right there by Breezeball. Pickup of 8 on 1st down. Now setting up 2nd and short. So a plethora of options available right now to the Dirty Birds on offense.
Yeah, might need to push the tempo a bit, which is not what Quaid is most comfortable with, but
Quaid gets the ball, looks over the middle. Did Lonnie make the grab? Yeah, he did. 1st down, Lonnie Johnson.
That's what happens when you catch with your hands.
So
great grab there. Really tough grab there.
The Johnson connection. Extending this drive here for the Dirty Birds.
Oh, wow.
And out of the 3 catches that have been thrown in his direction, that was definitely the toughest one. But as you talked about, he used his hands right there to make the grab.
Sometimes, like, the harder ones are easier because you're kind of lazy with your hands. But every single catch, you have to have the same routine. You catch the ball, you tuck it in.
Johnson gets the ball now. His offense just past midfield. Pass over the middle to Breezeball. Breezeball tries to break a tackle. He breaks the first one.
Touchdown.
Gets all the way down. Yeah, touchdown. Anthony Breezeball gets the Dirty Birds a little closer. 24-18 with just inside of 11 minutes remaining here in the second half.
Yeah, statement from Breezeball there is like, I don't care. I am scoring. I'll break all these tackles. Jeremy White devastated by missing that tackle. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, Brisebois making some sick moves there.
So ECW gave the Dirty Birds a little bit of life, and the Dirty Birds took advantage of it.
And huge convert coming up now.
Looking to make the score 24-19. Oh, Breezeball was open with that pass way over his head.
Yeah, just a little bit too high again on those converts. No convert successfully converted so far, Brent.
Yep. A bit surprising, especially, again, the higher division you go, usually you see more success on the converse, 1 point, especially 2. But neither team is elected to score any converse yet. So a 24-18 lead right now for EZW.
Yeah, getting another stop for Dirty Birds or the onside.
Dirty Birds again, #1 ranked defense, and this division pass right to the ground for the Laurent Gervais, and that was because of the rush provided by Anthony Breezeball. Yeah, he's been busy. He's wiping the sweat off his forehead. He has been busy here this evening.
Oh, he wants it, man.
Yep.
Like you said, this would be his first. He definitely wants, and as I said at half, he has to be the player to make that impact, to bring Dirty Birds over the hump. He's making it. He's making that impact so far with that touchdown, that great pressure on the last play.
Pass over the barrels, over the middle, gets past the arms of Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown! Alexandre Barros extends the lead for ECW.
Yeah, finally Barros making an impact today, breaking three tackles. Hasn't done much so far. A couple opportunities in the back of the end zone, a couple catches on the sideline, but finally makes a huge impact on this game. A great score. Some great moves, just some fluidity in the hips. Makes the defenders miss.
So good moves there by Barros, but I got to ask you, how much of that was just bad tackling right there by the Dirty Birds defense?
90%.
All right. Pass to the back of the end zone, knocked away by Tyrell, so the 1-point conversion is no good. It's a 30-18 lead right now for EZW.
Because, I mean, miss one, okay. Miss two, miss three. There's an issue there.
So Dirty Birds fans and players, you can send all your hate mail to Jerome if you want.
I'll take him.
New drive right here for Quade Johnson and his offense. Again, now they're down by 12. Still plenty of time, though, left.
Oh, yeah.
More than 8 minutes remaining in this contest. Johnson gets the snap. He looks to the left, double pumping a third time. And that delay gave enough time for Furlong to get there to get yet another sack in this contest.
Yeah, we're just going to back up the Dirty Birds offense a lot. Second and about 20. Anthony Brisebois was wide open on that right sideline, on the right deep out. Quade never looked at him.
And that's been the problem, I think, with Johnson. Just want to get your opinion on that. It seems to me, at least, that he's throwing a lot just to the middle and to the left. He's not throwing as much to the right. What are you seeing?
I think it's a lack, not necessarily of arm talent, but confidence in his arm to get it there. He doesn't have the strongest arm.
Oh, and that pass right there, that was a bad decision. Laurent Gervais ended up knocking it down. A pass intended for Anthony Brisebois. You see the frustration on the face of Brisebois right now.
Yeah, and EZW adapted their defense. They're seeing that Quade is throwing a lot in the middle of the field, and they're sending 2-3 guys to that middle, and Quade's not hitting the sidelines. Why hasn't he gone back to that Tyrell comeback?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that was money for them. That's one of the things that have been working for them offensively. Again, it's a bit of a struggle here offensively for this team, but that has been one thing that has been working. Don't forget, Quade Johnson actually part of Fly-Wansac taking on the Braves tomorrow in the Division I championship. So back-to-back championship opportunities for Quade. Obviously, he wants to get this first one taken care of here tonight. Pass to the sideline, and Brisebois can't hang on to the ball. He gets knocked out of bounds. Fourth down now, 4th and long, facing the Dirty Birds offense.
Definitely not an easy catch to make. A catch that Anthony Brisebois is able to make. Well, there's a lot of contact from Jeremy White there.
Yeah, but it looks like it's possible, though, because both players are trying to play for the ball, right? I think that could be the only reason why there was no flag thrown.
Yeah, I guess. It's just like Brisebois had the position. He was going up for the ball. White was a little bit late, but I don't think there's enough to challenge that anyways, but yeah. 4th down here, big play. Do you go to Brisebois or Tyrell?
Both 4th and about 16, 17 right here. Pass to Tyrell. That answers the question. Over his head and out of bounds. Turnover on downs. The ECW will now have the ball at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, tough. That was a great route by Tyrell. He was open. Just sailed it a little bit too much by Quade. Disappointing. But look, their defensive red zone, they've been able to make these type of stops. There's still 4 minutes and a half in the game. You want to be aggressive, but not too much here. You want to make White make a mistake. It's possible.
So let's see if this number 1 defense could deliver yet again. They need it right now. Pass to the floor, intended for Fairlawn. Good rush there by Anthony Breezeball. Solid coverage by Markins Valcourt.
Yeah, Markin's been doing a very good job on that Ferland in and out. He knows it's coming. So if I'm Jeremy White, I'm telling JC Ferland, do an in, out, in. It's going to be open. He's overcommitting to that back out. So it should be open on an in, out, in my opinion.
Second down now and goal for EZW, led by the reigning quarterback of the year in Jeremy White. White goes to his left, throws it in the dirt. Oh, penalty though here.
Oh,
Tyrell and Laurent Gervais going at it.
I think that's going to be on EZW. Oh, on defense.
Yeah, it's going to be called on James Tyrell here. Let's see if we can see what happened here on the replay. Rayhan Sarwar throwing the flag, the official on the right side. Yeah, a bit of a hold there by Tyrell.
A bit.
Yeah.
Laurent Gervais definitely let himself fall there, but...
Well, nonetheless, it worked out for him and his offense. So first and goal now. So it's a penalty pretty much of 1 yard. So, I mean, yardage is important, but getting a fresh set of downs for ECW is here with 3 minutes remaining in the contest.
Yeah, especially with the time that it's going to waste.
Going to the right, pass, easy touchdown, pitch and catch from White. De Ferland and Gervais and Tyrell going at it again.
Yeah, very simple. So instead of doing the in and out here, there's a straight out. Buckle doesn't stop. Very simple concept. Fritz is bringing Jamal Noel the corner in the back of the end zone. They're not playing lanes. And yet Jeremy White hasn't had success in the back of the end zone, and yet they're not playing lanes.
Why do you think that is?
Because they're not playing lanes.
No, I'm saying, why do you think they're not playing lanes instead of playing the defense that they are playing?
I'm really not sure. It's confusing.
White passed to the back of the end zone. Oh, sent it to us. Went up with his left hand. Maybe if he would have got 2 hands on that, he might have made the catch.
Yeah, definitely. A bit of a similar play. It's an interesting concept. It's kind of a bubble screen with kind of a banana sit in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, a better pass though from White would have solved that issue right there as well.
Yeah, not finding a great connection with Fritz on offense so far.
So about 2:50 remaining in the contest, 36-18 lead for EZW over the number 1 seed Dirty Birds. Johnson gets the pass also to Noel on the sideline. He gets past Blay. Tries to split 2 defenders. He's finally tackled after a pickup of at least 15 yards there going on the right sideline by Jamal Noel.
Crazy athleticism.
Again, this is on like 1 good ankle, right? So
Yeah.
imagine how fast, how quick he'd be with 2 properly functioning ankles.
I can guarantee you he is very fast.
Yep.
You do not want to be covering him one-on-one.
So first down now from about the 14-yard line for the Dirty Birds. Pass to the end zone over the head of everybody. Pass was intended for number 6, Matt Bond.
And yet again, what was open was the sideline hooks, and he's not throwing them. Just kind of a pick your poison, like left, right, it doesn't matter. Just hit to those sidelines. Both Noel and Tyrell being open on those sidelines. Sure, you're not finding connection. You're overthrowing your balls to Tyrell. Why not go back to Noel?
So Bond, one of 6 players, former U Sports, or at the time when he played CIS players on this Dirty Bird squad. Here's another one near an Anthony Breezeball. he lost control of the ball there for a second, but he'll get credit for the catch.
Yeah, third down. Playing a little basketball there or something.
Apparently he's a really good hooper, Breezeball.
I'm not surprised, yeah.
So pickup of 9 right there by Breezeball. Former member of the Sherbrooke Varrior. After Breezeball, again, we talked about Markins, Valcourt, Matt Bond, former Ottawa GG, James O'Hayan, James Tyrell, Quay Johnson, obviously former Concordia Stingers. Quay Johnson gets the ball here, looks over the middle, and that's intercepted, easily intercepted.
Pick number 3.
Yeah, Nicolas Blais there with the INT, and that'll pretty much all but do it with 30 seconds remaining here in the contest.
Great game. Kind of surprising. EZW didn't necessarily dominate on offense. It was more their defense that really had the biggest impact in this one today.
So there you go. The time is being run off the clock. You see the handshake line already forming. EZW, the number 2 seed, pull off the upset. They knock off the number 1 seed and the Dirty Birds and win the Division 2 championship by a score of 36-18. Jerome, what are your thoughts?
Bit disappointing. I expected more from the Dirty Birds offense, the whole team. Obviously, the injuries definitely had a big impact on this one. But yeah, Jeremy White was clinical. The defense really stepped up. JC Ferland had a huge game, both on offense and defense. My personal MVP. But yeah, congrats to EZW.
Yeah, so obviously Jeremy White, again, the reigning quarterback of the year. He can now add champion to his resume, 2-time champion now, I should say, to his resume. You guys, JC Ferland, that's his 2nd championship. Nick Blais, Fritz Senatus, Alex Barros, and of course Etienne Laurent Gervais, Samuel Emilio Pelchat. That's actually his 1st championship, so congrats to him as well. The championship drought continues for guys like Markins Valcourt, Jamal Noel, Anthony Brisebois, James Harrell, so on and so forth. Again, like you said, injuries, right? They played a huge role for the Dirty Birds. James O'Hayan, hopefully, again, best wishes to him. He's on the sideline. I mean, he's actually having a laugh right now with James Tyrell. Hopefully, the injury is not as bad as it looked. Again, he came into the game with a knee injury, re-injured that knee about maybe 5 to 6 minutes into the contest. Talked about Naz Dillon, of course, a medical issue. He's not playing in the game. Jamal Noel, he was banged up. So, I mean, hopefully, this is a team. I think the rest will do them wonders. Again, the spring season is going to be picking up on Monday, so we have to stay tuned for that to see how many of those guys are going to be playing. We're going to kick it over to Jeff Rosenblatt now, the president of FPF, on the sideline to present the trophy and the MVP award.
2025 Winter Division 2 champs, EZW. Can I get Captain Jeremy White over here, please, for a little interview? Jer, known you for years. How many championships has EZW won now?
It's only the 2nd one. I mean, a lot more to go. We'll get some more for sure.
A lot more to go. EZW has gone through the ranks. They started in what division?
6E, actually.
This is a team that went from Division 6 and is now a Division 2 championship. They're going to 5v5 competitive next season, so watch out for them. Jared, you've been playing with your boys for a long time. How does it feel to get this Div 2 champ with your guys?
It's amazing. These guys are my family. Like, we've been together for so long now. It's like it's hard to explain, like the energy we have together, like the trust, the love we have together. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
On a personal note, I want to say that EZW is exactly what FPF stands for. These are guys that started in Division 6 all the way now up to Division 2 champions and then coming into the highest league that we offer, 5v5 competitive next season. So unbelievable job. Can I get the MVP, JC Ferland, over here?
Yes, sir!
JC, just a quick word. I know you're playing with your boys. You guys had a great game. You especially had an unbelievable game. What does it feel like to be a Div 2 champion?
It feels great. It feels amazing, especially to win with these guys. It's the best feeling in the world. I wouldn't want to win with anybody else. Feels good to give it my all for them, man. It's great.
What a game by JC. Everyone, we got the Division 2 Winter 2025 champs, EZW. Back to you in the booth.
Cool, so there we have it again. EZW, their last loss, I said, was January 18th. Counting tonight, 10 wins in a row. The last one being the most important one. They're your Division 2 champions. What's your opinion of this team? Do you think we might see them in Division 1 next year?
They're doing 5v5 competitive, which is interesting. A different game. Look, this is a great group of guys, a lot of talent. One last thing. JC Ferland, you can now cut off the playoff beard, please.
As someone who likes to grow a beard themselves, I'm going to tell them to keep it, but I mean, the decision is going to be his. Again, congrats to them. 36-18 victory for the number 2 seed, ECW, over the top seed in the Dirty Birds. 2 great teams going head-to-head. ECW made a couple more plays, obviously, than their opponents, and that's why they're your Division 2 champs. He's Jerome on Brent. Our final game of the evening is coming up. We have the Citadens taking on Chaos for the Women's Division 2 Championship game. It'll be the last game here for night 1 of Championship Weekend here at Fly Plus Football. A ton of games going on tomorrow, so make sure to keep on watching on Facebook Live and the YouTube channel here for Fly Plus Football. Stay tuned.